In April 2016, in the heart of St. Louis, the board is set for the ultimate blitz challenge, and Wesley So is sitting directly across from the legend himself, Garry Kasparov. Most people would be intimidated, they'd play for a draw and hope for the best. But Wesley, he didn't come to survive. He came to play the most amazing attacking chess he ever played against Garry Kasparov. There is significant discussion, and they called it the Immortal Blitz game. In this video we will learn how Wesley punished a legend for slow development. Wesley begins with knight f3, the ready opening, controlling the center indirectly and keeping his options flexible. Garry respond with g6, his signature King's Indian setup, preparing to fianchetto his dark squared bishop. Wesley decided to push his pawn to e4, controlling more squares in the center. Garry completes his fianchetto, ready to put pressure on the long diagonal. And Wesley plays d4, establishes the full classical center. d6, Garry reinforces the center, typical of the King's Indian defense or Perk structure. And White continues to c4, claiming maximum space. Garry immediately brings his bishop out to g4, pinning the knight. He wants to disrupt the harmony of Wesley's pieces. Wesley develops his bishop, unpinning the knight on f3 and simply defending the d4 pawn. Garry doubles down on the pressure against the d4 square. Wesley indirectly defends d4 with his knight, maintaining his structure. Garry strikes at the center, demanding that Wesley resolve the tension. Wesley pushes the pawn, locking the center to limit Garry's counterplay. Garry retreats the knight to prepare for kingside maneuvers. Wesley forces the bishop to reveal its intentions. Garry pulls the bishop back, maintaining the tension but keeping his pieces flexible. The first turning point. Wesley sacrifices a pawn to shatter Garry's structure. Garry accepts the material, opening the d-file. Wesley brings the knight into the game, targeting the e5 pawn. Garry defends e5, but he is now becoming very cramped. Wesley pushes, creating a nuisance piece that disrupts Garry's development. Garry is forced to move his knight back to guard the d6 pawn. Wesley develops the bishop, attacking the c5 pawn. Garry forces the issue, defending the pawn with a pawn chain. Wesley castles, prioritizing king safety. Garry places his bishop on a strong diagonal, eyeing the e4 pawn. Wesley trades pawns, clearing the file for his rook. Garry recaptures. Wesley sacrifices another pawn to open lines against the black king. Garry accepts again, but he is falling further behind in development. Wesley brings the rook to the open file. This is the reason behind that pawn sacrificed earlier. Garry finally tries to finish his kingside development. Wesley places the queen on b3, to an active diagonal. Garry can't castle because of discovered attack with the knight. Black is now in a serious trouble. Garry moves his pawn to h6, not knowing what to do. Wesley centralizes his rook, piling pressure on the d-file. Garry kicks the knight away to challenge White's space. And now, knight takes e5, a tactical masterpiece. Wesley sacrifices the knight to rip open the position. And the rook on c1 is now active on the c-file. Garry is forced to take the piece, exposing his king. Wesley pins the bishop to the queen. Garry tries to attack the bishop, but he is under crushing pressure. Wesley simply moved his bishop to a4. A great move. Gary slides his queen to b7. And now, rook takes c6, Wesley sacrifices the exchange to remove the defender. Gary is forced to recapture. And now, Wesley continues. Queen to d6 check, Wesley delivers a devastating attack on the king. Gary blocks the check, but he is completely paralyzed. And white continues. Bishop to c5, Wesley brings the final piece into the attack. Gary desperately tries to defend all of his pieces, but it's too late. Bishop takes e7. Wesley delivers the final blow, winning material, and Gary was forced to resign. What a brilliant attacking game by Wesley So. Keep climbing the pyramid, and see you in the next video.